Welcome to Thomas Goes Nowhere for 2017. We had a busy couple of weekends in the end of April. On the weekend, the 21st, 22nd, we were at Calgary Supertrain. We had an attendance of 11,500 people. And the following weekend, we went to the Calgary Expo at the Calgary Stampede Grounds for 4 days, 19th through the 22nd. It was 95,000 people, so we were pretty busy. My friend David added some 3D Daleks just to get into the spirit of the expo, and I created a Doctor Who and a K9. This was well worth the effort, as usually we get smiles on the children's faces when they see the Thomases running, but now we started seeing the smiles on the adults as they read the sign, and then really got into the show by looking for the 10 hidden Daleks and Doctor Who and so on. The layout's pretty simple. We have 2 tracks on the top and another 2 on the bottom, with scenery on 3 sides for the top and only the front for the bottom. And all the magic is done in the back in the fiddle yard. For the bottom tracks, the fiddle yard is all on the back side. We have 3 trains staged on each track, and the control panel, you just press a button. Resets the route, that isolates the one locomotive, and that sets the other one going. The trains run through the tunnels on the side. Originally these were covered in, but children love seeing the trains go through the tunnels, and it's quite an interesting experience to see the trains yelling out James on the bottom, and the parents are saying, no, that's Thomas, because they're looking at the top, which is it's a different view of things. Back scene on the top is a Gauge Master, which I glued onto a thin sheet of plastic. It was an 8x4 sheet I got, and I cut it into lengths. This gave me curved corners and a nice flowing back scene for the whole layout. The top 2 tracks come out of the staging area under a road bridge and through a small country cameo with some scenery and a single road engine shed, small goods yard, then proceed into the station. All the buildings on this layout are paper. The station in this case is Metcalfe, and the houses and pubs and such like are either by scale scenes or scale model scenery. The one difference about the top level and the bottom level in terms of trains is both carry 3 trains, but on the top level one is stored in the station and the other spare one is stored in the back. So at all times there are trains in the station while one's running. One of the main additions this year was this footbridge, which I built out of paper and card. This was just to finish off the whole station, and was based on a London Midland Scottish bridge I saw in Wales. Many of the buildings on the front of the layout are lit and have interior detail, like this signal box and the shops and garage. One of the things I like doing is adding little touches of realism. This year I added the road signs. This goes along with the memories of the Lollipop Lady and the typical little English street. There seems to be something missing from the back of the station. I could never figure out what it was. It just looked too empty. So I added a little roadworks, which gave me an excuse to have George there as a steamroller, and it just seemed to fill out that whole side scene. The front of the layout starts out with a school on the right hand side, which started life as an old Built Easy kit from the 50s or 60s, which I added all the interior detail and a school teacher and a schoolyard. All the rooms in the terraced houses are detailed. The bedrooms, kitchens, living rooms have people and furniture. There's a light sequence so that this draws the attention of people to the various rooms, and the scene is continually changing. Main feature on the front of the layout is a long row of sloping terraced houses. This is a northern feature that I wanted to add. My friends from the south say it should be stepped, but then friends from the north turn around and say, no, I used to live in a house just like that. A couple of little cameos, moving gentleman and a milkman have been added to just fill out the scene. To finish off the front, there's a couple of super quick buildings, and I built a little allotment here to fill in a space that I had left over after I'd finished all the other detailing. To continue our tour, let's go back to the allotment. Beside that is a little road that goes over a hump bridge and joins onto the front layout. On the left hand side is a little tea shop. The gentlemen were mowing the lawn, and some tables with some people drinking tea. The whole side on this is basically a flight of locks. There's 3 locks going down the side. The chairs on the little tea garden was added this year. I made them out of some of the inside of paper clips, which you can see if you look very carefully. So we continue along the side. We come to the Lockgate pub, which was one of the first kits I made, and that was where I first started putting lighting inside the buildings. The barge is tied up at the lock, and the crew is having a quiet beer in the garden of the pub. The left side of the layout is very rural, with the canal scene, church, and finally finishing it off with a farm at the very back. Close off the canal. We built a nice little canal bridge. All the way around the layout, I haven't really been showing you, but there are sort of little critters. These are squirrels, and there's a badger that's looking for a little lunch. But all around the layout there are various little cameos. And at the back of the church we have a little funeral, a little bit different from everyone else's wedding. Farmers driving in the cows to be milked, and at the farmyard his wife's feeding the chickens, and his daughter's walking to the cow shed with her buckets ready, waiting for the cows. Our scene starts at the top with the barges coming under the bridge, coming into a lock at the high level, and then proceeds to show a barge waiting to go into the next lock. The middle lock is closed at both ends, with the barge going up and down, up or down. Again, I'm coming down into a parking area, and the barge is parked with the crew in the pub. The last lock is at the lowest level. Thank you for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed the tour, and you can keep track of us if you want to. Thomas Goes Nowhere on Facebook. Thank you again for watching.